Hi, I'm Auntie Tam, and welcome to my channel. Those of you who've already been here, welcome back. My new viewers, welcome, and I hope you enjoy. My channel, we look at things like mental health awareness, life skills, and life advice. So today, I just need to also remind you that I am not a psychologist, counselor, psychiatrist, or medical professional of any way, shape, or form. Everything that I'm talking to you about comes from my own lived experience. And today I'm expressing an opinion. You may have an opinion which differs. That's absolutely cool. Um, but I think it's an important topic for us to have a look at. And it is this. I'm not sure if you watching have seen a movie called The Secret, which became very, very popular in the 2000s because it provided some kind of information, this big, literally secret to manifesting and creating anything you want in your life, anything like a job, relationship, health. Um, they talk a lot about the law of attraction. And there is something there are a few things in The Secret that I'm not so 100% on, but I can tell you when the movie came out, I was a big fan. I thought this was amazing. I thought this was fantastic. But as the years wore on, I realized, and a recent rewatching of the movie actually made me think a little bit harder because it's been bugging me for a few years now. But on before I did this video, I decided I'm going to watch it again just so that I know what I'm going to say. And there seems to be in the movie a kind of sense of victim blaming. Okay, no, just bear with me, okay? We have a guy who pops up and says, um, you're going to say, but I didn't attract that horrible client, and I didn't attract this debt, and I didn't attract all of that this car accident and all this. And he says, well, I'm here to tell you, well, that you did. No, because sometimes in life shit happens. And there seems to be this has seemed to sort of pervaded this whole new age kind of thought where if something terrible happens to you, you might be in a car accident, you might experience an armed robbery, you might experience losing your job or something terrible, or God forbid, a child or a relative dies, and it will someone who's into this whole kind of pattern of thinking will turn around and say to you, well, what do you think you did to manifest these things? This pisses me off no end. And I'll tell you why. Because essentially, this is victim blaming. Um, if somebody has experienced a violent assault, physical, sexual assault, and then and I've had this happen to me actually. I've had somebody turn around to me and say, well, what do you think you did to manifest it? Basically, what the person is saying is that I deliberately, consciously or subconsciously, through my thoughts, called this thing to happen in my life. I can assure you now, no woman is actually looking to be assaulted. They're not calling that into their lives, but it happens. No person driving a car wants to be in an accident, but it happens. I can guarantee you now there's not a single person who sat around, except for maybe medical professionals and the odd people out there, who were just sitting around in 2019 going, you know what would be a good idea? Global pandemic. I can also guarantee you now there's not a single person in Russia or the Ukraine, apart from Putin, who has decided that You know what would be great? War. Because you can't tell me that all of those people sat there thinking, hmm, I'm going to manifest war. Now, you might tell me, okay, it's a subconscious thing. That if you're thinking negative thoughts like, I don't want a war, don't want a war, I don't want an accident, I don't want an accident, I don't want to be assaulted, that I am actually creating the pathway or the vibration for those negative things to happen in my life. Again, no woman wants to be sexually assaulted. No man wants to be sexually assaulted. No person actually wants somebody that they love or care about to die or get sick. And yet, the whole idea behind The Secret is that what your thoughts create your reality. The Buddha did say that, yes. You become what you think. So in a sense, yes, on a psychological perspective, if I keep thinking that I am useless and unworthy, that manifests psychologically because it's negative psychological self-talk. But it's not going to magically make an accident or something like that appear. Yes, we're in South Africa. I can guarantee you, if you've not actually experienced crime one-on-one, you know somebody who has. Do you really think that they have manifested through the law of attraction that crime? And yet we have people who are so entrenched in this belief that they will turn around and negate somebody's experience by saying, but you must have done something to attract this into your life. You must have done something or thought something to bring this about. Or you weren't believing strong enough to manifest good things, so the bad things manifested, not the good things. The actual fact. The actual fact. And if you know me, um, in real life. You know, I am a bit woo woo. You know that I do Reiki healing and aromatherapy massage, and I meditate, and I love my crystals. I think they're lovely, but you know, limits. And I do have certain esoteric beliefs. There's one thing that I cannot stand, and that is for people to turn around and blame the victim because it has happened to me, and it's happened to people I know. I have a friend who has experienced depression, and she did affirmations, and she was told, and she didn't get better, and so she was told, well, you're not believing in those affirmations enough. Hmm. Imagine, and it has happened, and this is particularly, this has happened to me. When you tell somebody that you've experienced an assault on your body, and they turn around and they say to you with all belief and all sincerity in what they believe. So what did you do to make this happen to you? Guys, no, seriously, we've got to get over this whole thing of victim blaming and victim shaming. Because honestly, you are negating the person's experience. You are telling me, or you're telling the person, your experience doesn't matter because you brought this on yourself. You know what you bring on yourself? I'll tell you what you bring on yourself. You eat 12 donuts a day, and in a month's time you put on weight. You brought that on yourself. You know what you don't bring on yourself? Going out on a date with somebody you really like, and he ends up assaulting you. You didn't bring that on yourself. He's to blame. But yet, yet, and this gets my goat. This gets my goat so bad. And we really need to stop doing that. And we're living, if you are working with spiritual energies, if you're working with energies and you're working with people who had experiences that need healing in some way or another, whether it's psychological or mental or physical or spiritual, and you're telling them that it's your fault, that this happened to you. You are part of the problem. You are not helping that person heal. What you're doing is you are creating in them a sense of guilt and shame. They take that home and they sit and ruminate on that and they become worse. They become even more ill. And then you turn around probably and say to them, but you are not doing your affirmation strongly enough. You don't believe in the law of attraction strongly enough. You don't believe in God strongly enough. Yeah. Let us go out there with compassion. Let us go out there with love in our hearts. Let us go out there with our beliefs reserved for ourselves and not for something that we push onto somebody else. You may say to me, I believe that if you attract if negative things happen to you, it's because you've attracted them. That's great. That's your belief. That's not mine. That's not mine. Because it's life and shit happens. And I mean, you can't attribute every single little thing to the law of attraction. Just like I think, and this is going to get some people really upset, you can't attribute every little thing to an act of God or an act of Buddha or an act of the universe. Particularly if you find yourself in a situation which you did not create, and then somebody's waving a finger at you going, you did this to yourself because you manifested all this wrong stuff. My liver fork. Let's just stop doing that. Let's go out there with love. Let's go out there with compassion. Let's go out there with gratitude. Let us hold space for people who have had difficult experiences. Let's hold that space for them. Let's be there for them. Let's hold them. Let's give them the support they need and not make them feel bad because of the crappy thing that has happened to them. Thank you. I'm Auntie Tat. See you next week.